Thank you for tuning into the broadcast of the Hollow Earth Reveal Part 10. What I will share with you today can be found in the book The Hollow Earth, The Greatest Geographical Discovery in History by Raymond Bernard. Since December 12, 1929, U.S. naval polar expeditions have determined the existence of indeterminable land extent beyond the pole points. In February of 1947, I will read a quote by Rear Admiral Richard E. Byrd, United States Navy. "I like to see that land beyond the pole. That area beyond the pole is the center of the greatest unknown." This is quoted by Rear Admiral Richard E. Byrd, and this was before his 7-hour flight over land beyond the North Pole. Also in February 1947, about the same time when Admiral Byrd made his great discovery of land beyond the North Pole, another remarkable discovery was made in the continent of Antarctica, the discovery of Bunger's Oasis. This discovery was made by Lieutenant Commander David Bunger, who was at the controls of one of 6 large transport planes used by Admiral Byrd for the U.S. Navy's Operation Jump Ship that operated between 1946 and 1947. Bunger was flying inland from the Shackleton Ice Shelf near Queen Mary coast of Wilkes Land. He and his crew were about 4 miles from the coastline where open water lies. The land Bunger discovered was ice-free. The lakes Bunger discovered were of many different colors, ranging from rusty red, green, to deep blue. Each of the lakes were more than 3 miles long. The water was warmer than the ocean, as Bunger found by landing his seaplane on one of the lakes. Each lake had a gentle sloping beach. Thus, Byrd in the Arctic and Bunger in the Antarctic both made similar discoveries of warmer land areas beyond the poles at about the same time, early in 1947. On January 13, 1956, members of the United States expedition accomplished a flight of 2,700 miles from the base of Mount McMurdo Sound, which is 400 miles west of the South Pole, and penetrated a land extent of 2,300 miles beyond the poles. Radio announcement confirmed by press of February 5, 1956. Only a month later, on March 13, 1956, Admiral Byrd is quoted as saying, "The present expedition has opened up a vast new land," after returning from the land beyond the South Pole. Then in 1957, Admiral Byrd is quoted as saying, "That enchanting continent in the sky, land of everlasting mystery." The United States and more than 30 other nations prepared unprecedented polar expeditions for 1957 and 1958 to penetrate land now proved to extend beyond both pole points. Then in 1960, the Globe and Mail published a photo of a green valley taken by an aviator in the Arctic region. Evidently, the aviator took the picture from the air and did not attempt to land. It was a beautiful valley and contained rolling green hills. The aviator must have gone beyond the North Pole into the same warmer territory that Admiral Byrd visited, which lies inside the polar opening. From the evidence I am sharing with you today, contained in this book that I am reading from, there is really no North or South Pole. Where they are supposed to exist, there are really wide openings to the hollow interior of the Earth. The existence of a polar opening and land beyond the poles is probably known to the U.S. Navy and those employed by Admiral Byrd, made in his 2 historical flights, and which is probably a top international secret. If the Earth is not hollow, then why does the north wind in the Arctic get warmer as one sails north beyond 70 degrees latitude? Why are there warm northerly winds and an open sea for hundreds of miles north of 82 degrees latitude? And after 82 degrees of latitude are reached, why is the needle of a compass always agitated, restless, and balky? If the Earth is not hollow, then why do the warm northerly winds carry more dust than any wind on Earth? If no rivers are flowing from the inside to the outside, then why are all icebergs composed of fresh water? Why does one find tropical seeds, plants, and trees floating in the fresh water of these icebergs? If not all the freshwater icebergs positively do not come from any place on Earth, as would be impossible unless we assume the existence of rivers flowing from the inside to the outside, then where do they come from? If the inside of the Earth is not warm, why do millions of tropical birds and animals go further north in the wintertime? Why does the wind from the north carry more pollen and blossoms than any wind on the exterior? If it is not hollow and warm inside the Earth, then why does colored pollen color the snow for thousands of square miles? Could it be that pollen from millions of acres of colored flowers cause the snow to be red, pink, yellow, blue, etc.? And lastly, why don't commercial flights fly over the North Pole?